Our dear viewer, I want to welcome you to this very important lesson where we are going to discuss some content in primary 6 class. We are following our books. For those who have the booklets, we are going to begin from we shall be discussing from page 100 up to around page 100 to around page 105, I mean 104. So, in our discussion, we are going to look at what we call friendship, as we have on our heading. We have the subtopic friendship. Friendship is simply defined as a relationship that exists between people of the same interests. For example, you will find that here at school, you can have your friend, and you will find that you have maybe that friend likes what you like that. So that's why we are saying a relationship that exists between people of the same interests, or people who have something in common. Now, what are the importance of being in a relationship if you have a friend? Number one, a relationship creates a sense of belonging in an individual. Which means if one has a friend, you will find that when you are with that friend, you feel you belong to that, or you belong to that group. So you feel a sense of belonging. Then two, it gives one support. When you are with a friend, of course you feel supported, you feel no one can attack you. Your friend can be there to defend you. Then of course that one makes you secure. You feel secured. It makes one secured, apart from only being support, because support can be even beyond security. Then we have security alone. It makes one secured. A relationship makes one secured. So that is also another importance of having a friend or being in a relationship. And of course, we need to note that when we are together as friends, we are happy. So it brings joy. It brings joy. Being in a relationship brings joy. So also you'll find that there are very many other importance of being in a relationship. You can get what you don't have. Your friend can give you what you didn't have. Take an example. Your friend has ice cream, so you'll find that you can be able to share that ice cream with a person. I've used that because I know it's what you children love mostly. So that is another way friendship is important as we interact in the environment. Of course, we need to know that everyone is a friend. Everyone is a friend for these very reasons. Now, as we continue, we also need to reflect the Bible. We also need to go back and we think about in the Bible. In the Bible, we have Jesus, who expressed also a lot of ways to mankind. So we are going to look at ways how Jesus showed love to mankind as his friends. Ways Jesus showed love to his friends. That is what we can call mankind. We can call it mankind. Ways Jesus showed love to mankind. So we are going to look at very many ways. When we look at the life of Jesus, he did a lot of things, and all the things were aiming at helping human beings. So one, you will find that Jesus fed the hungry. We can simply say he fed the hungry. He fed those who are hungry. An example is when we look at the story of Jesus making the stranded people by multiplying the 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread into very many, so that everyone could get what to eat. That is what we call feeding the hungry. 2, Jesus healed the sick. he healed the sick. Meaning there were those who were suffering from very many diseases, leprosy, what? And at the end of it all, he was able to heal them. That is helping one. At the end of it all, a person is healed. And this person is able to walk again. Then 3, he washed his disciples' feet. Jesus washed his disciples' feet. His disciples' feet. Now, the reason is, like we are saying, how Jesus was showing his love to mankind. If you are asked the question, why did Jesus wash his disciples' feet? Of course, you know, Jesus washed his disciples' feet to show them his love, or to show the love that he had for them. That is another thing that we are having. The other thing that Jesus did to help people is that he made the blind to see. Jesus made the blind. Jesus made the blind to see. He made the lame to walk. He made the lame to walk. He also made the lame to walk. Then he also forgave those who wronged him. We can simply say he forgave. Jesus forgave sinners. Jesus forgave sinners. He could forgive those who could wrong him. And finally, Jesus raised those that had died. He raised, take note of the word, Jesus raised the dead. He raised the dead. An example, we have Lazarus as an example of the people that Jesus brought back to life, that is raising from the dead. So these are some of the ways that Jesus showed his love to the people that he was associating with. Now, also us today, as children of primary 6, we need to note that we need to live the life that Jesus Christ lived, which means we have to imitate, as in we need to learn to copy the lifestyle of Jesus. So in our next discussion, how we live, how we can live, we can call it imitate, how we can imitate the life of Jesus. How we can imitate the life of Jesus. Which means we are going to understand how can we today live the life that Jesus lived. What are we supposed to do? One, since Jesus was helping his friends in very many ways, of course we should also be able to help. So in our way, we can say by helping those in need. By helping those in need. There can be very many people who are in need of our help, both at school and at home, in the communities where we live. We need to help them. Examples, we have the little ones, we have the elderly, those are the ones who are aged, those grandfathers and the grandmas, those ones who are now lacking enough energy. We need to be helping them. We have those who are sick, we need to help them. Then we have the pregnant mothers, or we can also call them expectant mothers. We can also be helping them. And also any other person that you see needs your help. Please help that person. There you will be living the life that Jesus lived. 2, we need to forgive those who wrong us. To forgive those, that is by forgiving those who wrong us. Like we said in our previous subheading, that Jesus could show love to his people by forgiving them, that is, forgiving those who could wrong him. Which means, also as here, we also need to forgive. At school, your friend can do something bad to you. you need to forgive that person. Come together as one. Jesus forgave sinners, you should also forgive. Do not fight back. Maybe someone steps on your shoe accidentally, you end up slapping someone, abusing someone, you are quarreling. That is not something which is good. You're supposed to forgive that person. Sometimes even the person can approach and say, please my friend, I'm sorry, forgive me. And for you, continue. I don't even tell me about this. That is not good. We are supposed to forgive them. Then 3, we can share by sharing what we have. By sharing what we have. We need to know that we have those that do not have what we have. So we need to help them. Don't just watch them suffering. If you have, please share with that who does not have. Of course, when we do that, we shall be having love for one another by loving one another. That is another way that we can show or that we can live the life that Jesus lived. Then lastly, we need to know that Jesus lived a prayerful life. When we read the Bible, we find that most of the time we could go to pray. So, which means that even us, we need to live a prayerful life by living, or we can simply say, by being prayerful. By being prayerful. By being prayerful. So, these are some of the ways that we can keep ourselves living in this world, intimate at this, living in this world the way Jesus lived. We call it imitate the life of Jesus. Next in our discussion, let's look at that person that we call a friend. How and how should that person be? We call those qualities of a good friend. Qualities of a good friend. Qualities of a good friend. So we are going to look at what are these qualities. Number 1, I know you must have known them, but I will want you in your answering, don't just throw answers there. I want you to bring out a beautiful sentence. What are the qualities? You begin your answer saying, a good friend should be, then you can write now. You can say a good friend should be kind. That is quality number 1. A good friend should be kind. Quality number 2, we can still begin the same. A good friend. I want to see this in your book or in your work. A good friend should be tolerant. A good friend should not a friend who gets just something small, someone cannot tolerate that. Someone busts and starts quarreling and runs away, starts abusing, they wants to fight. That is not a good friend. A good friend should be tolerant. Then, a good friend should be trustworthy. A good friend should be trustworthy. I want you to understand the spelling of trustworthy. A good friend should be trustworthy. Then we also have a good friend should be loving. There are very many. A good friend, I'm just giving you an example. A good friend should be, let's just continue with the rest. A good friend should be loving. A good friend should be courageous. Should be encouraging and should also be with courage. Courageous. Can have it here. A good friend should be courageous. Then a good friend should be trustworthy. I've talked about trustworthy. Should be loving. Should be kind. Should be should be loving. Then we can also have a good friend to be sincere and faithful. There are very many. A good friend should be faithful, meaning should have faith and should also be sincere. Should be open. So those are, among others, the qualities that a good friend should have. Now, these friends we have, like we are looking at a good friend, which means this person can give us a good, can be giving us a good advice. We have those ones that can ill advise us. Those are the bad friends. Of course, when we have such friends, we need to make sure we identify such a person. If you see that child or that friend of yours leads you into those bad ways of behaving, then you should try to avoid that friend, because at the end of it all, that friend will mislead you. So we should always learn to live with friends who are good, who can advise you on what to do, who can guide you, who can, when you do something which is not good, which the teacher hates, that person tells you, please my friend, you know what, you did this but it's not good. That is a person that we should call a friend. Not someone who can tell you, let's not go to class, let's go and hide behind that fence, let's go and do, that is not a good, you know this person is not a good person to you. So, when we have a good friend, what are the advantages? We have said it makes us to have good people who are advising us, and it will enable us to live in harmony or in peace in the communities where we live. So those are, among others, the advantages of having a good friend. With the bad friends, of course, the other ones, like I've said, the other ones can misadvise, they can ill-advise you, giving you a bad information, bad advice. Let's not go to class. Let's dodge tomorrow's preps. Let's do this. So those are the people those are friends that we should try to avoid in our lives. Next in our discussion, we are going to look at marriage. That is under another lesson. We are going to look at marriage, and we shall simply look at the introduction part of it, then we shall meet again to complete it in the next discussion. So for now, let's discuss about marriage. Very fast.
Yeah.
Use 5 minutes.
And you're going to teach from here or you're going outside school?
Here. No, but now you know the issue of Zoom, what are the meeting?
Isn't the meeting already running that you just come and sit or you create a new meeting?
It's not.
You have to create it afresh.
I have to turn the meeting on, begin the meeting So you need some, if you compare it a half past, then by 25 you should be beginning it. Why should I have talked about marriage?
But still, them like you, you're married.
Then you can married.
The other day it's coming from an experienced person.
An experienced person. Continue. So, we are going to look at our next subheading, that is marriage. Now, when we look at marriage, we need to understand what do we mean by marriage. What do we mean by marriage? So, the definition for marriage is the union. This is the first word you need to understand. The union of, let's begin by the legal, because it should be known by everyone, is the legal union of a man and a woman as a husband and wife. That is the meaning of marriage. The legal union of a man and a woman as a husband and a wife. That is how we simply define marriage. Now, before we look at these types of marriage and the rest, we need to understand that when people are planning to get married, of course, we have the qualities of that marriage partner. Qualities of a good marriage partner. In this subtopic, we are going to be looking at two ways. Of course, we are looking at a man who is planning to marry his wife and also a wife who is getting married to the husband. So, here we are looking at the two sides. We have the qualities of a good married man, then those of a good married woman or lady. But now we are going to generalize all of them. What are the qualities? We shall go back like the way we are answering the qualities of a good friend. Don't just throw there loving, trustworthy. No, we need to bring out a beautiful sentence. Quality number one, we can say a good marriage partner. Marriage partner. A good marriage partner should be, then we can now write trustworthy. There are very many answers here. A good marriage partner should be trustworthy, meaning it should be this should be a person whom you can trust. Then two, a good marriage partner should be kind. Should be kind. A good marriage partner should be tolerant. Should be able to withstand many conditions or situations. Then should also be hardworking. Should be hardworking. Then other qualities that people consider, we have the beauty. A good married partner should be beautiful. That is for the side of the men looking for the women. Should be beautiful. Then the other one should be courageous. Also comes in. Courageous. A good married partner should be courageous. E. Then we have a good marriage partner to be one can also consider God-fearing. Should be God-fearing. I have been giving them here because we have a statement here. Like I say, don't just throw. A good marriage partner should be trustworthy. Don't just throw kind, trustworthy, tolerant, hardworking, and bring a sentence like this. So let's look at the types of marriage that we have. Types of marriage. Now the types of marriage in Uganda, we have three types of marriage that are recognized in Uganda. One, we have what we call civil marriage. Civil marriage. Of the types of marriage, we have civil marriage, we have cultural marriage, that we can also call traditional marriage. Then lastly we have religious marriage. Now the civil marriage, this is the type of marriage which is officiated by a person in government. For example, in most cases we take the chief administrative officer can be the one to witness the marriage. Then cultural marriage, this is the one which takes place at the localities, officiated by the traditional leaders, like maybe a clan leader, and like that. Then finally we have the religious marriage, which can be that marriage which is officiated by a religious leader. Now there we have it in two ways. We have it done in the church, then we have it done in the mosque, as for the case of Islam. So all those religious leaders, like in the church, you can have the bishop, the priest, the reverend. Those ones are the ones who can officiate. Whereas the other one in Islam can be also be officiated by like one can be officiated by the sheikh. So that is what we mean by religious marriage. In our discussion, let's conclude by looking at reasons as to why people marry. Reasons as to why people marry. So here we are going to look at different reasons that different people give for wanting to marry or for marrying. One, they want to reproduce or to have children. To reproduce or to have children. Someone says, I want to marry so that I can produce my children. Then the other one can want to marry to get company. To get company. To get company. To have someone who will be accompanying you or will be moving with you, who will be with you. That is also another reason. Then three, some people marry for pride. To gain respect in the clan. We have some communities whereby if you are not married, people do not recognize you as a responsible man. So when they are talking, for them who are married, for you who is not married, you sit down. You are not supposed to say anything. So such conditions, such things also prompt some others also to get married so that you will be respected. That is what we mean by this point. Then we have sexual pleasure. For sexual pleasure, some people marry for sexual pleasure. So those are, among others, reasons as to why people marry. It has been good having you in this discussion, and I would wish us to end here. I want to remind you that in case there is something that you have not understood in this lesson, as you were watching it, please, you can reach me and you will inquire and you say, teacher, you talked about this and that, but I do not understand. You can reach me on 0774 420 447, or you can reach me on 075 146 1007. Then you can also WhatsApp me on 078 38 93 119. That is my WhatsApp number. Reach me and we shall be able to get back to you very well. Thank you for being part of this lesson. May God bless you.